Okay, I will start. I will start my presentation, my lecture. The topic is Digital Europe program. Yes, I will come directly to this new financial instrument in the middle of my presentation. But what to say? It is very, very important thing, and I am not teaching this field, or I am not expert on this. I would try to be facilitator of these ideas, of this information to you. When we started the call for lectures for this workshop, I'm not sure. I think it was in March, maybe in April. I found very interesting information in internet about this Digital Europe program, that it will start, and European Commission launched this program. And I was thinking about, yes, we need to give this information, to give some summary of it to our students, to our supervisors, lecturers, participants of our workshop, because I am sure, beside the main work, or beside the things on that you are focused when you are studying or working and teaching, you need to have additional information about the important documents of European Union that defines future, that defines and that shape future steps in our ICT field. So I was reading and looking for a few documents released by European institutions, and now I would like to introduce result of this research or research. It's maybe better to say. I will start with some introduction that is not directly connected to digitalization, but it has sense to start with it. Yeah, how we developed, what was development in Europe. About 30 years ago, I think, dear students, you don't remember these times. I was 14 in this time. So in 1989 and 1990, we lived in the European freedom revolution. We can call it like this. In this time, Germany was reunited, and we can say Europe was reunited. And in this time, I can remember not only citizens of Czechoslovakia at that time, but European citizens. They believed in a future peace, freedom, prosperity, and justice. In that time, it was not usual to have a computer, internet, or web. In the 90s, in the beginning of 90s, I was in secondary school. It was not in everyday life. I can remember my schoolmate, his father, in his work had a PC a computer, and he had a application, something for geography, and this application was able to play national anthems of the country. So wow, it was something great for me. But it was only one point of view on computers that time. I was studying at secondary school for railways, and that time it was interesting to see information systems for railways that kept information about all freight wagons and trains in the railway network. It was something unbelievable to see how man is sending data from his computer using a telephone to send data to the server. It was something what I was not able to understand at that time. Yes, but these times, 90s, we can characterize as we were full of feeling of freedom, peace, and prosperity. But in 2000 and after year 2000, a few crises came. I can mention energy crisis, US housing bubble, financial crisis in 2007, 2008. After that, automotive industry crisis, then European debt crisis, and what we still have here, COVID-19 crisis. So it brought challenges to us. But I'm sure that the worst financial and economic crisis, it is behind us, and it almost overcome, and we can start growth of Europe again. But feeling of people is not same like 30 years ago. Many people remain fearful because of Brexit, because of populism and separatism in some member states of European Union, because we feel that People Republics of China seeks to overtake the USA in terms of political and economic influence. We can see that Russia seeks a new empire in Europe. Yeah, somebody can interpret it like this. Maybe not all of you share this feel, but we can see activities of Russia in some direction. And migration and terrorism is reaching Europe because of the Middle East and North Africa are the scenes of civil and religious wars. Where we are as Europe, what we can do. So Europe is the second smallest continent. The smallest continent is Australia, you know. And another important fact is that our relative share of world population is declining, so European share of world population. What we can expect in the coming years, these coming years will be shaped by further globalization, digitization, and the transition to a knowledge society. And we need to prepare the European Union for this. So we need to address these challenges, and we can master these challenges only together. What we need for European economy? We need to keep its competitiveness and to create new jobs in future markets. And what are Europe needs currently? So we need a strong and modern industrial base, a new knowledge and new technologies, and new technologies, it means a lot of new ICT technologies. We need startups and small and medium-sized enterprises. And we need something that we can call that it is a mission-oriented approach to innovation policy. Yeah, we need a united Europe. We need to be united in the European Union. And then inclusive growth should enable all regions to master the grand challenges of the future. So not only in the best regions, in regions with industry or very good connectivity to networks, internet. No, all regions of Europe. And when we will be able to do this, we will be able to preserve the culture that Europe built over centuries, and Europe will be able to keep leading position in digitization, and we will be able to preserve Europe's quality of life. All this require us to act together on the basis of European values, of our values, so that we remain smart, sustainable, and inclusive in the future. So you can see at least two words that we try to highlight during this workshop and during our project: smart and sustainable. Yeah, we can ask what Europe needs currently. So we need to support technologies in areas of security and connectivity. I am not speaking directly about ICT technologies, but I think it is clear that this security and connectivity is very, very interconnected with ICT. We need to ensure the full protection of private data as the European path to successful digital economy. In different countries, in China, Russia, or US, there could be another path to protect data, and European Commission would like to prepare own strategy for protection of private data. We need to build a circular economy, and we need to start mission for biomanufacturing. 5 years ago, President of European Union, Jean-Claude Juncker, said the citizens want a Europe that protects, empowers, and defends. How we can reach this Europe? So it is important to start the new mission-oriented European policy. What does it mean? What is starting point? What are the starting points? So we can see that European Investment Bank defined 5 years ago the global megatrends, and we need to be able to answer these or to react to these megatrends. The first one is population growth and food shortage in developing countries. We should be able to support, to help to these countries. The second megatrend is that population in Europe is aging. So generally in advanced economies, and Europe is an advanced economy. The third megatrend is urbanization, and the fourth, sustainability. This slide and previous slides I have prepared using a Refinding Industry document. This document was published in 2018. And it is in this document there are mentioned a few exemplary missions, how to reach the new mission-oriented European policy. I would like to tell about two of these missions. The first one is an inclusive democratic society and how it is connected to digitalization. And the second mission is digitalization as a Europe jobs engine. So let's come to the first one. In the name of this mission, there is no digital technology directly, but when we go and we think about this, digital technologies should be used to enhance a democratic and secure Europe and thus overcome societal divisions, populism and radicalization. The potential exists of creating a new unified, democratic, transparent and digital Europe. And this mission aims to build connected and secure Europe that generates social and economical equality. We can mention technologies that will support this mission, and it is, for example, e-government, e-voting, e-health platform, and secure internet for information and connected society with the right to be digitally connected. And this can enhance democratic participation, security and equality and help build a united Europe. The second mission that I would like to mention from this document is digitalization as a Europe jobs engine. In this document, there is stated that Europe has the opportunity to capitalize on its knowledge base and highly educated workforce to develop a smart growth approach, establishing digitalization as a European jobs engine. We all know that digitalization is a global trend of major transformative character, comprising all areas of daily and professional life. Digitalization has influence to the businesses, consumers and industry. And the businesses, consumers and industry are increasingly using digital technology to grow, overhaul workflow and generate efficiencies and to develop new products and services. We can mention three main types of digitalization to open up new opportunities for growth and to generate new jobs. The first one is efficiency-driven digitalization. Increased efficiency and scale from digitalization will impact production chains and potentially make certain layers redundant. The second type of digitalization is evolution-driven digitalization. With respect to the evolution of new products and services, the resources and number of jobs are more or less stable, although higher quality jobs will emerge. And the third type of digitalization is market growth oriented digitalization. Various data-based approaches using digitalization technologies can open up new business models and innovation. Maybe slides only with words and sentences, they could be boring for you, so I prepared and found a few pictures that will show what are starting points for the digital Europe. You can see that these ideas of digitalization and digital Europe, they started about 5 years ago. So this is a statistic from Eurostat from 2017, individuals' level of digital skills, and you can see that only 31% of European citizens aged from 16 to 74 have the essential skills necessary to perform in a modern office environment. So, for example, using spreadsheet. So nearly half of the population in Europe does not have basic digital skills. Maybe it changed in the last 5 years, but still it is very important to think about it. We would like to have a digital Europe, but who will use it? Another point, another starting point that was very important as a factor to start initiative of European Commission. It was prediction that by 2020, 500,000 ICT specialists will be missing in Europe. So you can see in the picture, in a blue line, employed ICT specialist, and in a red line, potential demand. Yeah, it's interesting, and we need to find a way how to increase number of ICT experts and specialists. Maybe one way could be to make ICT more interesting for girls and women. We can see in 2016 only 16% of ICT specialists were women. Yes, it is important. We have a few activities. For example, at our faculty, we have every year Girls' Day event. And yeah, I can say that we are successful from a 4% share in ICT study programs about 10 years ago. Now we have share about or near to 20%, and in some study programs where we have a mix of ICT and business, but there is about 70% of ICT, we have share about 30–40% of girls. So it is very important, and maybe this is way how to receive more experts. Another interesting starting point or factor that was important to decide about strategies for digital Europe is what amount of money is invested to artificial intelligence. So when we compare, on the left, you can see financial instruments of European Union from 2005 to 2009. And on the right, you can see financial instruments of European Union from 2010 and 2014. So when you compare, in Europe, we had not increase, but decrease in investment to the artificial intelligence. And when you compare with USA or China, 83% of external investment in artificial intelligence was absorbed by the United States and China. So this was another reason why European Union started these initiatives. And the last picture, how European Union reflects on it, how European Union react to this development. You can see so-called multi-annual financial framework of European Union in previous research and innovation programs or in previous budget period from 2014 until 2020. Only 6.5 billion euros was used to support digitalization. And you can see in the new budget period from 2021 till 2027, European Union decided to spend six times more money using different instruments. And the green one in the bar on the right, it's Digital Europe program. So you can see near 9.2 billion of euros, or for example, Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe research programs, it is 10 billion of euros that will be used in the following 7 years in field of digitalization. I used another document of European Union to prepare my presentation. The name of this document is Shaping Europe's Digital Future. So I will show important sentences, important parts from this document. So firstly, digital technologies are profoundly changing our daily life, our way of working and doing business, and the way people travel, communicate, and relate with each other. Digital communication, social media interaction, e-commerce, and digital enterprises are steadily transforming our world. They are generating an ever increasing amount of data, which, if pooled and used, can lead to completely new means and levels of value creation. So this is really Revolution 4.0. So it is a transformation as fundamental as that caused by industrial revolution. And what to say, that it's clear Europe needs to lead the transition to a healthy planet and new digital world. When you remember initiatives in Rio de Janeiro and Paris, Europe is leader in this field to have a healthy planet. And to reach it, yeah, we need a digital world. We can say that Europe needs to solve or to react on a twin challenge, a green and digital transformation. It requires, as set out in the European Green Deal, an immediate change of direction towards more sustainable solutions, which are resource efficient, circular, and climate neutral. So this is the green transformation and digital transformation. It requires that every citizen, every employee, every business person has a fair chance wherever they live to reap the benefits of our increasingly digitized society. Digital solutions such as communication systems, artificial intelligence, or quantum technologies can enrich our lives in many ways, but the benefits arising from digital technologies do not come without risk and costs. As I already mentioned, citizens no longer feel in control over what happens with their personal data and are increasingly overloaded by artificial solicitations of their attention. And malicious cyber activity may threaten our personal well-being or disrupt our critical infrastructures and wider security interests. So we need a European vision and European goal to be defined. And what is very important is the European technological sovereignty. 2 weeks ago, there was a conference about this, and one statement that was there in this conference is following. Strategic autonomy of Europe that COVID crisis has in a way confirmed that we need to be absolutely autonomous in the most strategic areas, and we need to be able to compete globally, and we need to better address all the Europe economic and societal challenges, and we have to do that by achieving also scales via collective co-investment, with member states. The European Commission knows that no member state can play alone. The European Commission knows that we have to join forces, and the Commission has to join forces with member states in order to achieve a collective co-investment for achieving the results that we want to regain the control over Europe's value chain. So what is important to say about this idea of European technological sovereignty? It starts from the integrity and resilience of European data infrastructure, network and communications. It requires creating the right conditions for Europe to develop and deploy its own key capacities. And what is important, it is not defined against anyone else, but by focusing on the needs of Europeans and of the European social model. Yeah, European social model, Istvan Polgar, he said, it is not maybe so developed in all fields, but it is mentioned here. We can see three key objectives for the following 5 years in digitalization in Europe. To ensure the digital solutions help Europe to pursue its own way towards a digital transformation that works for the benefit of people through respecting the European values. And we have these three key objectives. Technology that works for people, a fair and competitive economy, and an open, democratic and sustainable society. In the document that I mentioned, there is this puzzle, and we can see that it is interconnected. People, economy, trust, society, international, with excellence, democracy, enforcement and fairness. No part of this puzzle gives us a sense. Only all these parts connected together in right way, they will give a real European vision and goals in digitalization. In the document, there are key actions mentioned for these three objectives. So key actions for objective technology that works for people. I can mention that European Commission will prepare, for example, white paper on artificial intelligence. Probably you already heard about it. Then it is important to say that it will be prepared documents for building and deploying cutting-edge joint digital capacities. Very important is action plan on 5G and 6G, preparing 5G corridors for connected and automated mobility. Another very important key action is establishment of a joint cybersecurity unit and single market for cybersecurity. Another key action is digital education action plan, then skills agenda, and European Union government's interoperability strategy. When we come to the second objective, it is a fair and competitive economy, and here we have following key actions. A European data strategy, fitness of the European Union competition rules, ex-ante rules, industrial strategy package, digital finance, communication on business taxation for the 21st century, and consumer agenda. And when we come to the third objective, an open, democratic and sustainable society, here we have following key actions. New and revised rules to deepen the internal market for digital services. revision of EIDAS regulation, preparing of media and audiovisual action plan, developing of European democracy action plan, preparing digital twin of the Earth, so it's called Destination Earth, this initiative. The next key action is Circular Electronics Initiative, followed by Climate Neutral, highly energy efficient and sustainable data centers. And the last key action is Electronic Health Records based on a common European exchange format. To be able to develop new solutions and activities in these three objectives, European Commission started a new financial instrument. And this financial instrument is Digital Europe Program. Acronym for this financial instrument is DIGITAL. And this is the first financial instrument of the European Union focused on bringing digital technology to business and businesses. Yeah, this is a plural. Businesses and citizens. And again, we have twin challenges. How to make Europe greener and how to make Europe more digital. We need to look on it using lens of the European Green Deal. And this Digital Europe program, it's opening up discussion about move to a more digital world, the digital transition. So in following slides, I will speak about this Digital Europe program. Digital technology and infrastructure have a critical role in our private lives and business environments. We rely on them to communicate, work, advance science, and answer current environmental problems. At the same time, the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted not only how much we rely on our technology to be available to us, but also how important it is for Europe not to be dependent on systems and solutions coming from other regions of the world. So this is paving the way for achieving this goal in digital program. This program, this financial instrument, will provide strategic funding to answer 5 very important challenges. This will support projects in 5 areas: supercomputing, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, advanced digital skills, and ensuring a wide use of digital technologies across the economy and society, including through digital innovation hubs. This initiative, this financial measure, Digital Europe program, it will accelerate the economic recovery and shape the digital transformation of Europe's society and economy, bringing benefits to everyone, but in particular to small and medium-sized enterprises and startups. Yes, digital as a program, it will not stand alone, but it will be complementary to other programs of the European Union. I can mention Horizon Europe program for research and innovation and another program, Connecting Europe Facility for Digital Infrastructure. And this program, Digital Europe program, is a part of the next long-term European Union budget, as I showed in my picture, the multi-annual financing framework, and this will cover years from 2021 to 2027. To be able to reach goals defined by strategies, European Commission prepared a plan, prepared digital targets for 2030. And you can see this digital compass. So Europe aims to empower businesses and people in a human-centered, sustainable and more prosperous digital future. So now I will tell something to this digital compass. On the March the 9th, 2021, the Commission presented a vision and avenues for Europe's digital transformation by 2030. This vision for the European Union's digital decade evolves around 4 cardinal points: skills, secure and sustainable digital infrastructures, digital transformation of businesses, and digitalization of public services. What Europe behaved in the last year, it shows really the importance of digital technologies, but even before that, we knew that digital transformation is an essential element for Europe's future, but also to impact on the European Union welfare, on the capacity. We have to develop as individuals and for our society. And a few weeks ago, as I said, the Commission took the initiative to take stock on this transformation that is accelerating through the COVID crisis, this digital transformation to set the bar even higher for the coming years. And this is what the European Union adopted through this digital compass communication. It is necessary to highlight that the digital compass is very much also going to count on Digital Europe as a new program. Digital Europe really is about covering a gap that the European Union have had between research and deployment. It is about also, at the end of the day, the European Union technological sovereignty. It is about making sure that in Europe we have the digital capabilities that we need to strive in the digital transformation era, and that is very much also what our compass is calling for. The 4 cardinal points are outlined that will guide us in this journey. So the first point has to do with the skills, essential really, so that all European citizens, all professionals can really contribute to the digital transformation. The second point is where digital has a critical role to play, has to do with digital infrastructure. The European Union need to upgrade our game as regard connectivity. 5G must be everywhere in Europe. It is defined in this document. That is what the European Commission is announcing in this digital compass. The third point, the European Union needs to upgrade our game in terms of the data economy. The Commission wants to make sure that we have everywhere in Europe to have possibility to edge cloud nodes by 2030. That is the next generation of cloud computing fully available everywhere in Europe. The European Union also wants to make sure that we are leading the digital transformation in terms of quantum computing, for instance, essential for the future. This is really the next revolution as far as computing is concerned. The European Commission wants also in the digital compass not only to have this supply side. So in terms of skills and infrastructure, the European Commission also wants to make sure that there is adoption these digital capabilities through indeed new elements like transformation of business. The European Commission wants to make sure that they will be there, for instance, all companies adopting artificial intelligence. The specific initiative was approved by European Commission, but also in areas covering data again and cloud computing. The European Commission makes sure that we are in Europe at the front edge of innovation through scale-ups and unicorns, as we call them, these important companies that are challenging established realities through their development. The fourth point of this compass has to do with the transformation of government, because in the end, governments have an essential role to play for this digital transformation. The European Commission really wants to make sure that they as well as are part of this. And here again, the European Commission wants to make sure that they fulfill the dream of making everything online available, and also to address elements like e-health, so important during the COVID crisis for all European citizens. That is the compass, the digital compass. There are 4 cardinal points address supply and demand of digital capabilities, and actually in these 4 areas, a Digital Europe program will play a part, because it is going to support skills, in going to support infrastructure, but it is also going to support deployment of these technologies for business and government, very timely, in a way that the European Commission is about now to launch the first work program, Digital Europe, in June. The European Union will be able to try and taste how it looks and make sure that really the relevant stakeholders can also apply for this program. It will shortly conclude by also flagging that, generally speaking, the European Commission also wants to make sure that the Digital Europe is not just seen in isolation. The European Commission wants to make sure that this program is complementing a lot of elements. In particular, you know that currently, as a part of economic recovery effort in Europe, we prepared, or in countries they prepared recovery and resilience facilities. And it is important to say that 20% of this facility must go to the digital investment. In the document, Digital Compass and Digitalisation, there are mentioned targets and key milestones, a robust joint government structure, including a traffic light monitoring system to identify successes and gaps, and multi-country projects combining investments from the EU, member states, and the private sector. It is very important to speak about digital citizenship, about rights and principles for Europeans in relation with digitalization. A framework of digital principles will help promote and uphold European Union values in the digital space. This framework will be identified through a wide societal debate and could be, for example, included in digital rights and digital principles. So I will shortly show you some points to digital rights. Digital rights, they cover freedom of expression, including access to diverse, trustworthy, and transparent information, freedom to set up and conduct a business online, protection of personal data and privacy, and protection of the intellectual creation of individuals in the online space. And digital principles, they cover secure and trusted online environment, universal digital education and skills, access to digital systems and devices that respect the environment, accessible and human-centered digital public services and administration, ethical principles for human-centered algorithms, protecting and empowering children in online space, and access to digital health services. Digital citizenship, what does it mean? What are the rights and principles for Europeans? So the Commission will propose to include such a set of digital principles and rights in an interinstitutional solemn declaration that will set a common benchmark at the European level for the fundamental rights and values in the digital space, ensure that all citizens benefit from digitalization, are skilled for the digital society, and exercise their right online as well as offline, guide the European Union and the member states in designing and enforcing coordinated policies, and help monitor the perception of Europeans of benefits of digitalization in an annual Eurobarometer. Now I am coming to the expected impact of Digital Compass. So I already mentioned that countries were preparing a recovery and resilience facility. And it is important to say 20% of this facility must go to digital investment. That is quite a considerable amount. More than 140 billion euros are estimated, and the European Commission believes that actually Digital Europe is a very good guidance for member states because they can look at the projects we have here and pick them, boost them, expand them through this recovery and resilience facility. The European Commission has even more impact, and it sees that already actually in the national plans of the member states for the transformation, notably of government, but also for skills and infrastructure and the rest. Again, in the 4 cardinal points of Digital Compass that I was describing, the European Commission believes that Digital Europe will be very much showing the way forward, and that we hope that multi-country projects will also be adopted by the member states in that journey. So you can see an example for multi-country projects. It is a network of security operation centers powered by artificial intelligence to anticipate, detect, and respond to cyber attacks at national and European level. Multi-country projects. The goal is to reach the objectives set by the Digital Compass. The European Commission will accelerate and facilitate the launch of multi-country projects building on the Recovery and Resilience Facility, the cohesion funds, and other European Union funding. And these multi-country projects could combine investments from the EU budget, from member states and private sector. They should address gaps in the identified critical capacities of the European Union, and they should support an interconnected, interoperable and secure digital single market. So I will conclude by this information about Digital Compass, and I prepared some list of important news from different portals to show why is this digitization and this cooperation in this field so important. So yes, every day we can see coronavirus vaccine disinformation. So we need to be able to have a network that will support correct informing. Another interesting news is that we will start e-translation, or it will be possible to have inclusive dialogue using e-translation. And you can see, for example, that Malta joined Euro HPC, joint undertaking, European Union and India. They work together for stronger digital cooperation and to tackle the pandemic. And you can see that media and audiovisualization action plan is prepared, and Commission launched interactive tool on European Union support. And for example, that Commission makes 11 million euros available to strengthen cybersecurity capabilities and cooperation. So this is some example. These are examples. Where is the digitalization? What are the trends? I would like to share documents, names of documents that I used to prepare my lecture, my presentation. Here you can see 4 documents. So the first one was the redefining industry. The second document, it was Shaping Europe's Digital Future, published in February 2020. You can find these documents using these links. And the third document was the Europe's Digital Decade, Digital Targets for 2030. And the last document or source that I used today, it was a presentation from Digital Public Conference 2021, Transition to Digital Europe. Thank you very much, and I hope this information was important and interesting for you, and that you will probably use it in the future. Thank you.